you today, that's exactly what's happened for us.
And if you over-communicate during a period like that, my philosophy is give people something to hang their hat on, because even if at your own company you think you're very focused on we're okay, we're fine, we're financially flexible, we're going to come out of this better than we went into it, don't worry, here's the reasons why. Those are nice words, but you have to find a few illustrations that prove the point to them, that give them something to focus their energy and attention on. Because think about it, at that time, people are going home, and even if they just heard at work today, I'm good, I'm okay, they get home and their neighbor just lost their job, or one of their relatives just was told their job might be at risk. Everything they're hearing in the media is completely unsettling. So they come back into work today, and you think, I won their heart and mind yesterday, and they come back in and they're like this again the next day, and you go, what happened? And what happened is that's what was going on at that time. It's not their fault. They went home, and they went home kind of feeling good, and then by the time they came in the next day, they were all unsettled again. Yeah. I mean, if I had one do-over, although I got a lot of positive emails from my fellow CEOs that I kept in my file for later when I need to feel good about myself, one quote that I would probably take back from that era, because it was unnecessarily inflammatory, is someone asked me one day in the heat of it all, maybe we should close the market for a day or two and let everyone catch their breath. And I don't know how the rest of you feel about the worst single thing you could do in a situation like that is close the only markets that were open.
Right.
Like literally, the house would have been on fire if we did that. I'm not one to mince words. And I looked at the CNBC reporter, and I said, maybe what we should do instead is the media should shut down for a week.
Exactly.
And let us send me an email, please. Hold your applause. DeanEaterhour at NYX.com. I need all the help I can get right now. But I mean, on one hand, it felt great for 15 seconds. It got a point across that you guys are the ones stirring the flame right now, and that's not what we need. Like people don't need to go home and think everyone's house is on fire. Like, we need to be realistic, but you're scaring the living daylights out of people. It's not helping, and so it felt good to say it. But I'm not sure I probably needed to go, that far. But in terms of internal stuff, we just found things we were doing saying, if you didn't think we were serious, why did we just invest $250 million in a new data center? Do you really think we would have done that if we're not meaning to come out of this and everything's not great? Why would we do that, right? And you try to give them a few things where they can say, yeah, I've got something to focus on. So I'm not going to get distracted by all this other stuff. I'm just going to focus. And that's what we tried to do.
I think Marty hit it on the head earlier about customers. And if you can focus your people on the customer, making sure that they're getting ready for that next project or that next sale or that next effort, that tends to quieten things down as well. But focus on that customer, whatever that is.
I just add one quick thing, and that is we're very big on consumer research and associate surveys. And before the crisis, one of the questions on our 50-question associate survey is, I understand the vision of the company and it motivates me in my work. And we had a whopping 60% on that question, which meant 40% of our people don't understand what we're trying to do, and it has nothing to do with the way they're performing. So we focused on the top 500 people solving that issue. And I'm pleased to say today it's 98% of the top 500 people. So if they don't really know what it is, what we're trying to do, they don't know what it's about, it's hard to be motivated by that. And I think during a crisis, it's particularly important they know what we're trying to accomplish.
Indeed.
Good point.
Well said, Mike.
Well, we've had a great panel. Linda's pointing at her watch. I don't want to bring this to an end because I'd like this to go on for the rest of the afternoon. However, I did make a promise that we would end roughly on time. I will honor my promise. I work for the Federal Reserve. I have to keep my promises. And I work for SMU, and I have a lot of students and know I like to keep my promises. So, having said that, please join me in extending warm applause to this absolutely fantastic panel. This part of the session is adjourned. Thank you for coming.